inside East Africa's 9 most beautiful presidential palaces. Welcome, travel enthusiasts. Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary journey through East Africa as we explore the 9 most beautiful presidential palaces in the region. These are not just places of political power, they represent incredible artistry, historical narratives, and cultural pride. So, whether you're drawn to architecture, exploring cultural heritage, or simply curious about unique destinations, this immersive tour will ignite your sense of adventure. Ready? Let's dive into the grandeur of East Africa's finest presidential residences. Presidential palaces are more than just homes for heads of state. They stand as monuments that mirror the identity, struggles, and achievements of entire nations. Each palace is a cultural artifact, showcasing craftsmanship and historical storytelling. In East Africa, these structures represent a blend of diverse influences, colonial architecture, modern innovation, and timeless local traditions. They aspire to unite people under a shared sense of pride while offering glimpses of power and diplomacy in action. Our journey begins along the shores of Lake Victoria in Entebbe, Uganda. The State House here is one of the most iconic government residences in Africa. Surrounded by lush greenery and a tranquil lakefront, it exudes both elegance and authority. Originally built during Uganda's colonial era, the State House has undergone major renovations to adapt to modern governance while still preserving its historical charm. With carefully manicured gardens and grand halls, it plays host to state banquets, conferences, and diplomatic engagements. A visit or even a look inside this residence offers a glimpse into Uganda's colonial and post-independence narratives, blending history and modernity seamlessly. Next on our list is the majestic State House in Nairobi, Kenya. Since its construction in 1907, this architectural masterpiece has served as the nerve center for Kenya's executive administration. The Nairobi State House reflects a blend of colonial elegance and modern grandeur. Behind its prominent white facade lies a wealth of historical significance. The sprawling lawns and immaculately crafted interiors are perfect for entertaining world leaders and hosting ceremonial events. What makes this palace unique is its connection to Kenya's history. It has been a site of critical decisions and monumental events that have shaped the nation. Moving on, we arrive at the Tanzanian presidential palace known as Ikulu, located in Dar es Salaam. Translating to palace in Swahili, Ikulu is a symbolic representation of Tanzanian coastal culture paired with modern governance. The architecture of Ikulu is deeply inspired by Swahili design, with open courtyards, intricate carvings, and sea-facing balconies that reflect the coastal vibe of Tanzania. It's as much a functional home for the president as it is a visual celebration of African artistry. The choice of Dar es Salaam, a multicultural hub, as its location also signifies Tanzania's openness and its connection to various cultural influences along the Indian Ocean. Rwanda's journey is one of resilience and progress, and the Kigali State House serves as a beacon of modernity and hope. Located in the heart of Kigali, this palace is more than just a presidential residence, it is a symbol of the nation's forward-thinking ethos. The Kigali State House features cutting-edge architecture, sleek designs, and a subtle nod to Rwandan culture. Its interiors reflect simplicity and grace, standing in contrast to some of the more opulent palaces elsewhere. As you step inside, or imagine doing so, you'll sense the harmony of traditional Rwandan values seamlessly blending with a vision of progress. This palace celebrates unity, recovery, and the possibilities of a brighter future. No list would be complete without Ethiopia's Grand Palace in Addis Ababa. Ethiopia stands out in African history as a nation that was never colonized, and the Grand Palace is a proud testament to its storied past. The architecture here is undoubtedly regal, featuring large stone exteriors and expansive courtyards. The palace has been the residence of Ethiopian emperors, including Haile Selassie, an iconic figure in the country's history. Rich with historical significance, Addis Abeba's Grand Palace embodies the strength of Ethiopia's independent spirit and its crucial role in Pan-Africanism. It's a living artifact of the nation's glorious past and its influential role in African politics. Heading south, we arrive at Bujumbura, the home of Burundi's presidential palace. This architectural marvel may be less extravagant than some of its counterparts, but it gracefully represents Burundi's understated charm. The palace's design reflects Burundi's connection to its traditional roots. With clean lines and an emphasis on natural tones, the simplicity of the structure stands out. While its role is largely official, the palace remains a symbol of national pride for the Burundian people. Its unassuming yet elegant look mirrors the country's aspirations for stability and progress. The presidential palace in Bujumbura is proof that beauty in architecture often lies in simplicity. Newer on the scene is South Sudan's presidential palace in Juba. As one of the world's youngest nations, South Sudan is quite literally constructing its identity, both symbolically and architecturally. The palace in Juba is a symbol of hope and resilience for the South Sudanese people. Its design features modern architectural elements while incorporating local themes, reflecting the country's emerging national culture. Much like the country itself, the palace is a work in progress, but it's already a proud marker of governance and a touchstone of unity for a nation that continues to build its foundations. Perched strategically by the Gulf of Aden is Djibouti's presidential palace, commanding breathtaking views and attention. Djibouti is known as a melting pot of African, Arab, and European influences, and its presidential palace perfectly encapsulates this diversity. The palace was heavily influenced by European architecture, with grand columns, elaborate facades, and picturesque terraces overlooking the sea. Despite its luxurious appearance, it also reflects the country's pragmatic approach to governance, showcasing a balance between tradition and modernity. Its position along vital maritime routes highlights Djibouti's strategic importance and its role as a diplomatic hub in the Horn of Africa. Our final stop takes us to Villa Somalia in Mogadishu, a historic yet resilient symbol of Somali governance. Despite the hardships Somalia has faced, Villa Somalia stands strong as a beacon of the nation's perseverance. Originally built during the era of Italian colonization, Villa Somalia showcases grand colonial architecture while gradually integrating Somali influences over the years. Its large open spaces, arches, and verandas reflect a focus on both elegance and functionality. While Villa Somalia has endured challenging times, it remains a focal point for leadership and hope as Somalia continues moving towards stability and peace. Each of these palaces reflects its country's historical, cultural, and political uniqueness. From Uganda's lakeside magnificence to Ethiopia's imperial grandeur, these landmarks are as diverse as the nations they represent. Every detail, the domes, columns, facades, and landscapes, holds cultural significance, a physical manifestation of a nation's identity. These palaces stand as timeless reminders of East Africa's rich tapestry of traditions and aspirations. One striking feature of East Africa's presidential palaces is their diverse architectural influences. Colonial, Swahili, and modern styles merge seamlessly to create buildings that honor tradition while embracing progress. Whether it's the coastal influences in Tanzania's Ikulu or the contemporary designs of Rwanda's State House, these palaces tell stories of cultural evolution, from ancient times to today's globalized aesthetic. The beauty of these residences is not confined to the buildings themselves, but extends to the landscapes surrounding them. From Lake Victoria's serene shores in Uganda to the oceanfront views in Djibouti, the settings are integral to the palace's identities. These natural elements reinforce the visual grandeur of the palaces and emphasize their connection to the land and people they represent. Every palace is an archive of its country's history. The Grand Palace of Ethiopia, for instance, holds the legacy of emperors and liberation. Villa Somalia stands as a representation of resilience in the face of adversity. As historic buildings, these palaces require careful preservation. Efforts have been undertaken to restore and maintain their character for future generations. They're more than just landmarks, they're living histories. Presidential palaces aren't just residences, they are vibrant centers for diplomacy and culture. World leaders, dignitaries, and luminaries often gather in these spaces, making them essential sites for fostering international relationships. Additionally, many of these buildings are treasures of national art and design, showcasing local craftsmanship and creativity to all who enter. East Africa's presidential palaces are far more than symbols of power. They are timeless showcases of architectural brilliance, cultural depth, and the history of nations. For travelers, they offer a window into the spirit and identity of these beautiful countries. As you dream of your next destination, remember there's so much more to explore in East Africa. Beyond its wildlife and landscapes, there are stories told through majestic palaces waiting to be discovered. To continue uncovering the wonders of our world, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and share with fellow explorers. Thank you for exploring East Africa's treasures with us. Subscribe, share, and like for more informative videos.